Yo, what is going on? Good morning. What's going on, Alexis, Eric, Sandaller, Mel, Carter, German? Good to see you. E, Susan, Maddie, Kevo, King Carnage, Daffy. Good morning, each and every one of you. German, I did see your DM. Just give me a minute. After stream, I'll send you some stuff. I'll message you. And then we'll get down to it. Alright, let's go over the game plan today. We're also in Discord as well. Welcome everybody who's in Discord. Garden Trader, Jabroni, Letterbuck, Linwood, and Tobias. Good to see each and every one of you. If we pull up the... Hold up. Keep getting DMs. Discord. This will be awkward for you because you can't see what I'm showing on my screen right now. Just go to Discord, pull up the levels channel, and yeah, that's what we're looking at. But in the levels channel, we're looking at the daily levels and the smaller time frame levels, just to kind of give us a good view of what's really going on here. We got about 4 minutes till the open, so we're just going to go over the game plan real quick. But essentially, we were bullish as long as we held this area. It's been a minute since I was here, but basically since what we talked about is kind of what we talked about in the past, and I'll show it on the chart as well based on price history to show you that this has happened many times before, and this is why we wait for these things. But you see we have a bearish candle here. A lot of people have been shorting from here. Another one here. A lot of people have been shorting from here. We get the higher open. That is all liquidated. But then we still drop. So it still begs to differ. You know, are we going to start to drop soon? We get an inside bar. Very expected. I think everybody and their grandma called this candle out. So I don't think this was anything to surprise anybody. This day, not really that obvious. We're getting a bullish hammer, but it's not really breaking out anything. Like, yeah, we broke to the upside above the previous day high, but when we closed right under that high. So it's like we didn't really do anything. We just kind of like tested both sides of the range. We went down to the low, bought back up, and then just kind of closed under the previous day high. That's not really bullish. It's not really bearish. Like, yes, we are still holding the fibs, but essentially from here, our game plan is as long as the fib holds, we should be bullish. Posted this last night, gave everybody a good breakdown just to give themselves a good update. But you can see here this morning, we are breaking those levels. It's not looking too hot. And here, I'll pull it up on the screen now, so we're all on the same page. If you go to the default chart, this is our bigger time frame chart. And don't let this fib scare you. It's nothing big brain. There's nothing super in-depth here. All this fib does is go from the old all-time high and goes to that recent high that broke out. And then kind of from there, we've just been watching like who's really trying to hold this fib. And you can see even the inside bar's low, even yesterday's low has reacted to this range. But as you can see, as of today, we have broken and retested once and a second time in pre-market to the downside. So as of right now, it seems we are very bearish as long as 527s are not retaken. Just from a very simple, clear point of view, we're bearish. That's it. We're bearish. But to what? To what are we bearish? 524.61, which we are already very close to. So be very careful for a potential dip and bounce at this level. But if we do get a continuation, don't just look for a break of 524.60s. In the same way we see retest popping up here, to show that resistance is being had at 527, we need to see the same thing under 525 essentially. And this will give us a good kind of secondary signal that yes, this is going to dip more. And even if today ends up as a wick back up and we are back up at 527, who cares? We understand that we have two different ideas going on right now, but it is most likely short-term bearish, and we're probably going to get a short-term dip in my opinion, just because, and as you guys know, they don't like to make it obvious. And if they do make it obvious, we're going to get a very big red day or a very big green day. We don't know, right? But we're not going to sit here and try to plan for a huge day. We're going to just go for level for level for level, and that's it. And then this is what it looks like with every level on the screen. So this just kind of gives everything off. You can see we have our previous day high, psychological 530. We got the psychological 527.50, and we got the previous day low, kind of just zooming in on those. And you can see we have broken that from away 527 from previous day lows. It's very clear. So we're going to be looking towards 525.20s. It's already breaking the next level for a new pre-market low, so nothing we can do about that. But this is the game plan as of right now. For buyers, I need to see just a sign of life at the open or anything. Sorry guys, I'm helping someone who just signed up for Lifetime. Market is open. I'm just kind of giving it a little bit to breathe. 1 second. All right, a little bit of a rejection of 525.83 here at the open. Which most of the time, guys, these levels that you see, the random ones that just come from the far left, like if they don't come straight from the previous day, they're most likely coming from the daily time frame. So they're either an emerging candle or the halfway point of two different emerging candles. So most likely that's what you're seeing. The only short-term levels I have are previous day high and previous day low right now. I didn't even bother adding pre-market because it's just a continuous lower high trend drop, and it broke 527. Are there any swings that anybody is in? Are you guys in swings on anything up to the upside or to the downside? Are you guys on any or like anything that you're looking to trade this morning. Is anybody looking at any individual tickers that I'm not looking at? YouTube, it's pretty awkward for you because you can't see my huge list because I got the chat there. But we always look at a lot in here. One of the things I like to look at is the dollar, just outside of the market, even though it's directly connected to the market. But recently we got a good little push, impulse move, and then from there I haven't really been watching it. Looks like we got a rejection, which makes sense why we got a nice little green move the other day. A little bit of a dip, gave us a nice green move again. But as you can see, market not looking like this the past 2 days, so you can see there's a little bit of divergence there. They're getting some nice positive bid, and on the other end, our equity market is trying to fall. So those are actually working. Moderna was on a pretty crazy streak. Looks like they're slowing down finally. Nike still stuck there. Go surprise. Or FedEx. Ulta has earnings this week. This is a pretty big one in my opinion. They already have it this morning? No. This would be tomorrow after hours. Okay, that's pretty important. I say this is important because I just like the positioning of this stock, but I think this would be really cool. Just a cool little theory I have. If they made a fake low, like did this like huge drop from this earnings, and then over the course of like a week or two retaking the support, and that'd be a really bigger time frame, 90% entry to the upside in my opinion. Just got to be very careful because this isn't one of these stocks that just hits a support once and then bounces and then holds and then works itself up. This thing loves to take huge spikes, and it loves to take multiple spikes. This isn't the first time. It did that back here, did it back here, it did it in a really big way right here. And this is only the first real like drop, you know, and then they had a little one right here. So I think after earnings, if we see some better basing, I think Ulta is going to be a crazy powerful chart to look at. So I'm going to be definitely looking at that more often. Boeing, we've been looking at this on the daily. Ooh, they had a nasty day. ET, nah. Damn, ET's coming down. If ET's coming down, most of energy's probably slowed down. Delta Airlines being a little bit more realistic. Good to see. How is Tesla doing on the daily? No, I don't want to buy that. I gotta fix that chart later, but it's good to see they're still holding an inside bar. And that makes sense too, because I saw Nike was doing this. You see, even Tesla looks like Nike. And it makes sense because they're in the same sector. Let me pull this back up actually. So our sectors, these are the top 5 of the stock market. So this would be the heaviest of SPY. And you can see we're down, slight positive green this morning. Down, just kind of indecisive here on the healthcare sector. This is the second largest sector in the market. So these two together already make up a pretty large portion. So if you want to start drawing your opinions from there on the daily, that'd be a good idea. Just kind of look for positioning to see where they're dropping to. Are they both finding support at the same time? And if so, then there's very high probability that you start seeing some bounces. But right now it looks like everything's just kind of like heading to a support with a little bit of room underneath them. So then you got like moves like this. I could see this on the discretionary sector. This is your Tesla, Nike, McDonald's, Home Depot sector, Amazon. But it kind of looks like tech in a way here short term, where they're just kind of like up against their highs. They're down against the recent lows. I mean, they're just kind of stuck in that bound range a little bit. You can see discretionary is kind of doing the same thing. They've had this drop. They've had this bounce. And here they are again against this low, just kind of bouncing stuck in between this little range right here. I'm not saying it's a good range, but it is one. And then here you have the same thing on comms. Kind of against those recent highs, down, back up again with that spike, except they are not even close to the recent lows. So you might even be able to say comms are lagging. Comms might actually have a lot more drop due to them. So might need to go check Meta, Netflix, stuff like that. Yeah, so it looks like we could try to look for some dips under 473.20 on Meta, and maybe look for some dips on Netflix. But I don't like that unless it breaks this low right here, 643. But they're up. So, never mind. If they are late to the party, though, and everything continues to drop, we have to go back and look at comms. So now we know that if more blood picks up, comms are in a great position. Let's go do SPY now, because I've been just kind of looking at the market, and nothing has really happened. We're just kind of rejecting support still. It's a very indecisive candle. You got a little bit of a wick on the bottom side of the first candle as well. Second candle seeing the same thing. Very awkward first 8 minutes of the morning though. So good thing we just kind of clicked around the market to see what we're doing. Good morning, Maxon. Good to see you. Good morning, Kem. Good morning, everybody who is saying good morning. It looks like my boys, because I wasn't here, I didn't get to see what they were in. But it looks like Daffy and Kevo are openly in Home Depot puts in the trade floor. Looks like Cody's in some Apple puts. Oh no, my bad. These are calls. You're in Apple calls. Sorry. Looks like Sandollar is in. What is this? Chewy? I don't know if you're in puts or calls, but I like this. Oh, these are. He said close at 64, lost 12 on the puts. Okay, so he's in both. Nice. Okay. Let me see what y'all did on Home Depot, I guess. And then I'll look at Apple, and then we'll look at Chewy. Oh, y'all are probably. It looks like Daffy was going for the bearish retest short term. Yeah, it does look like it's just rejecting that. Dang, I got a really good open into today. A lower open, and it's dove more. If you get the new break of a recent low, that's going to be a very nice percentage, but already a really, really good start to that move for y'all. Very clean. Just a good short-term retest. Nothing crazy. Apple's kind of the same thing. A little ballsy on that. Looks like, were you day trading this, Cody? Either way, nice, massive move for one of the strongest stocks on the market. Apple's pushing through the pre-market high. You have Microsoft getting to the pre-market high. I won't say pushing it. Amazon getting a nice spike. I have a feeling some of the Nvidia hype is going to die down as we head more into the split, but at the same time, could be wrong. I think the last 10 splits on different tech stocks, we've seen a just crazy continuation rally to follow after, so who knows. What have we got here on AMD? What are these levels? Oh, okay, I'm just going for that move. I held the top of that fib perfectly. Rejected the next zone. You actually have not a perfect bearish kicker, but me to the bone wise. Like if you're just looking at the open close information, this is a kicker, but not really. Pretty impressive. Inside bar break, rejection, bearish engulfing, rejection, kicker, almost, you know, like a fake kicker, but still. That's pretty crazy, actually. A lot of selling pressure at whatever that area was. Let me go back to that and see that number. A lot of selling pressure for AMD at like 170 to 172, I would say. Let's get back to SPY, though. Let's click on... Jesus, is this going to just crash? Here we go. Alright, we'll zoom in. They're trying their best to pull away from that 525.83. They are struggling to get down to that next level. To do anything, really. I think it's just very indecisive because you probably have a mix of a lot of people taking profits because you didn't just get a push to the previous day low, which I feel like a lot of the time people get when they swing overnight puts randomly. But this time they actually get a break of the previous day low and a move away from it. So it might actually be a mix of people taking profit, trying to get back into the dip, people thinking that this is just a bullish retest. So it's very, very indecisive so far this morning. Which in my opinion is a great time to move your eyes, and I see somebody already mentioning it in the chat, Alexis, saying IWM at a significant support. Today's actually a great day to go check on IWM. Every time SPY is, well, not every time, but most times that SPY is in a not favorable spot or doesn't move a lot, IWM is actually a great one. But you can see they're also taking that same move today, just like SPY. So it's definitely a market-wide move today. So they might act just like SPY today. It looks like I do not have my levels updated, so let's do that real quick. 5-day, 5-minute. That can stay, actually. That needs to be deleted. That needs to be deleted. And that's it. I think. Yeah, that's it. We need to go to this day. Rectangle tool. I need to go to the high, and I'm actually just going to go to the open on this one.
days to it. Nothing fancy. Maybe add that level if we want. We don't have to. Previous day low. And high last red candle. Top of that red candle, and I'm just zooming down to that level and then just editing it, moving it over. I'm not doing any crazy tricks here. Just moving the rectangle over to the right, and then that's it. It's not like it's going to be in the way right now, but it's good to add those levels just kind of for repetition. Make sure you're doing things right, or at least in the right order. We'll leave 200 here at the bottom of our screen with 205 right at the top. But it looks like IWM is kind of in the same position as SPY, but with different candles. They're kind of just struggling with 202.50. But right now they're actually holding over and trying to wick and hold it still. Looks like SPY's still in the same spot. So it looks like nothing's moving those together. But small caps actually looking like they're in a better spot as long as they hold 202.50. But it's just very scary to say because all I'm going off of is one level and a low. You know, whereas the bears, they've gone off of a complete break. And there's a lot more for the bears there. But it looks like they can get a favorable retest if they actually get back to these previous day lows. And I see that on SPY too. So if we see a buyer move ever come back in, it kind of begs the question, do we get a better retest here again? And if not, we're going to be seeing a good move potentially under 525.20. So either way, still just kind of looking for that bearish setup. At least on intraday time frame. Remember, if you go back to that daily chart, all we've literally done is just broken a fib and then moved down. We haven't actually, you know, done a crazy move yet. So we're still kind of looking to see, do we make it down to that next area? What are they about to do at open? So it's just very indecisive right now. So I don't blame you guys if you feel like you don't know what's going on. Plus the sectors are crazy right now. You got some tech stocks getting bought up. You got some others just falling through the floor. You have others just doing nothing. So you have a weird mix of emotions right here at the open today. Is this guy promoting a shit stock in my chat? Let's actually look. He said, added a few more Cerio down here. What the hell's that? Oh yeah, get the hell out of here, dude. What? Bruh. Bro just got caught in 4K. Don't promote penny stocks in my chat. I'm pretty sure I have that as a rule in the chat. I don't care about penny stocks, dude. I also don't like when people post those penny stocks and they're like, they have health in the name. It's like, oh, okay. You're gonna randomly cure cancer and go up to 6,000 a share when you just were $1.40, you know. And I'm not joking. I'm not actually the cure for cancer, but if you go look, there's a lot of penny stocks that have just catalyst movement, is what some of them call it, and it just has a crazy move one day, parabolic moves, based on news, of course. Not just comes out of nowhere, but people always know before. It's not like any kind of secret. I mean, you and me will never know, but yeah. So I don't like people to focus on those. I feel like it's a waste of time. I feel like it's a waste of, I don't know. Just don't waste your time on penny stocks unless you actually know what you're doing. Unless you've taken time to review this stuff. They'll just join chat and be like, oh, guys, buying this at this low. It looks good here. Like, yeah, it's a penny stock. Every low looks good here. It's going to feel good because it's cheap. Cheap always feels good. That's why people are scared of buying and trading bigger stocks, because big numbers scary. He said, good thing SRM is no penny. No, I'm not. That's why I've never called you out on you calling out SMR. Because I've looked at what SMR is, and I see it as a little bit different. It's not the exact same. It does have catalytic movement. You can agree to that, but it does have its own flow. But healthcare stocks, when they're penny stocks, man, they just have a straight up downtrend, and they're cheap. Like I said, it feels good because you can buy a lot of it. It feels like you're a huge owner, you have a huge stake in the game, but you don't. There's just a lot of shares of it. Still seeing indecision. Sorry guys, let's turn off this. Actually, no, we'll leave it on. I'm just gonna zoom in, but we are still struggling with this 525.83 area on SPY at least. And then you guys saw on IWM we were actually looking really good. We just recently re-dropped under, so it was looking like a good little hammer candle here on the second candle, and then it closed under. So a little bit of a fake out for bulls there. That's re-breaking today's open on IWM. They're also rejecting away from it. I don't know what that looks like on the 1 minute, but let's see. Yeah, so here's the today's open, breaking it, rejecting away from it, all within 3 candles. So it looks like you could be bearish against that. Just be very careful, because I would actually expect today to be one of those days where you don't just use today's open as a good indicator, just because we've already made a decent move. So I don't want people just shorting open range breakouts right now. But it's all you guys. Focus on the entries that you have practiced the most. I would definitely go to the YouTube playlist where there's videos of me taking live trades, my friends taking live trades. There's also other examples of me breaking down each live trade's example with the strategies that we use. So there's only a couple types of entries we use in here. There's a couple type of retest trades that we like to use in here. There's 3 types of retest. There's about 5 types of entries, but I mean there's just 2 main ones that we kind of use as like a template for the rest of everything we do here. And once you see it, you'll be like, oh, okay, I see what you mean. It sounds more complex than it actually is. But I hope you guys review some of those playlists. The levels, again, they're very repeatable. They're very consistent. This is part of a system that you should be able to delete your entire screen, redo it all, and you should have the exact same information to the penny. It should not be even a single cent different. So I hope to see a lot more of you guys go through some of this information on the YouTube. If you guys have access to the courses or info to do some of the other stuff I've put out besides the courses, there's also seminars we've done. I've done all kinds of different things just for, whatever. But I hope to see more of you guys go through that stuff, and post just good reviews of stuff, not really of the videos or the content. I'm talking like once you go back through and you're charting it for yourself. I hope you guys are actually reviewing what you're doing, so you can, again, try to make it repeatable. We're not trying to step outside of bounds and do something that's not so consistent. We don't want to be the inconsistent variable. That's for the market to decide. The market's going to be the most inconsistent variable ever. But our strategy, the way we trade, how much we're betting, how much we're risking, how much we're putting into each trade, whatever we're doing, the kind of trades we're taking, the template of the trade we're taking, this is something that's in our control. So that's what we're going to try to keep as consistent as possible, because we don't want any inconsistencies. We don't want any inconsistent variables. Like I was saying, like, we want to be the consistent variable. Therefore, whenever something happens or something's just not right or something's just continuously failing, we can correct it instead of sitting here and crying and complaining and being like, why are we losing? Why are we failing? At least we'll have a good breakdown and understanding of what's going on. Well, at least to the best of our abilities. We're never going to be perfect. We're not computers. And even computers mess up sometimes. And there's that buyer move. Sorry, back above 525.80. Kind of surprised me, so I had to stutter there for a second. You can see a little bit of a retest coming back in for the IWM move as well. Kind of like adding to that little weird conversation I had where we were saying, yes, this does look good for a bearish retest, but just because we've had such a nice move, I really wouldn't be surprised if it just randomly breaks. And there we go. Within 5 minutes of me saying that, we are breaking really good levels to the upside on both SPY and IWM. Again, just kind of showing the market's a little wild today. It's already had a move to the downside. There's not a huge need for a continuation in the open market session. A lot of people are able to take their profits here and just kind of wait, get a better buy. They're not just going to randomly keep shorting. Where's that better buy at? The potential rejection of previous day low. So we're going to be looking there for another better bearish buy, but for right now it looks like it's clear skies to 527 for buyers, but we'll see. Of course, that can just, as much as it went up, could also just reject and fall back down randomly just because of this liquidation. If we're truly that bearish, they could just drop it from right here. They don't need to go test previous day lows, but that is the ideal spot to go hit, so we'll see. Triple Qs are kicking ass right now. They are not above pre-market high to any extent, but they are finally trying to break this lower high trend we had from pre-market. So that's a good sign at least. And they've been on the upside since open, which we kind of felt that presence. We saw Apple was kicking ass. We saw Microsoft was kicking ass. We saw Amazon, Nvidia. We saw a lot of the tech stocks were either holding to the right or breaking out really well. So not really surprised that Triple Qs are up so much right now. Plus, we went to the tech chart and we saw that too. So they're just kind of getting bought up from their lows. Healthcare actually headed lower. The second sector is actually going against this, which that isn't the worst case scenario. It's actually pretty normal. But what we want to see are at least banks or XLY or XLC follow them. And we are getting some follow-up by the comms, which I really wanted to see that because it looked like they were about to be in the worst positioning. Good buy-up move by the discretionary. Not anything crazy, though. And banks somewhat followed in the last 20 minutes. But again, kind of like the other one, nothing crazy. There's our SPY move, though. Oh, IWM. You're not even making a new high. Alright, I guess I'll leave it like this, and then if we do break the previous day low, I'll move it up, and we'll start to look at bigger targets to the upside, or if we get something else. But for right now, my focus is the previous day low. And is SPY going to break this lower high trend in pre-market? Kind of looking for multiple combinations here to see, does this continue to work up? Or do we get a good rejection? If you're already somebody who's in calls over 520, you know, whatever this is, 520, 590, I guess. 526s, we'll say, for conversation's sake. You're not in a bad trade. Just be very careful because you're essentially just buying the first buyer move. You're not dumb for buying a buyer move here. We are above today's open. We're above a good level. So if there's anybody here looking at buyer moves, no, you're not dumb. You're not going against anything. Just understand you are essentially buying the first move. So it's, you know, to each his own. Some people like to be a little bit more risky than others. And this is honestly why I don't like to trade the first 30 minutes to an hour sometimes. I feel like it's days just like this. It's not that the levels aren't working. It's the fact that it's just so volatile this morning. I mean, you really only got 15 minutes of information before, you know, a continuation that could have happened, and it just didn't. Okay, whatever. Cut that, move on. A really good example of just a good trade that went wrong. I see a lot of those. But anything outside of that, you're just guessing. I don't see anything else here that would have shoved me into a trade for an intraday trade. A trailing stop loss is the way. Game of patience. And yeah, in some cases you could say a trailing stop loss is good. I wouldn't say in every case because a spike move could screw us a trailing stop loss too. Good post too, by the way, in the results and review. I wasn't here the other day, but I was reviewing a lot of what was posted last night and this morning. Good job on the reviews. I saw a lot of really awesome, clean posts. Not a bunch of rambling or ranting. At least in the results and the review, I didn't bother seeing how crazy it was in the trade floor. Oh, Tobias, you were one of the people in the chat that I did see yesterday in Trade Floor, though. How did that thing go with SPX? What's up with that? Yo, good morning, Ace. Good to see you, man. A game of patience, exactly, Mel. Looking for that better buy, the more attractive buy. If you're trading at the open every day, are you truly giving yourself a chance at trading the better buy? No. In what world are we going to get the best trade every single day in the first 30 minutes? You're not. Every day is different. You got cash filled? Okay, good. I was gonna say, that was a little weird, because you were, like, saying it at the end of the day. I'm like, well, just close it. Like, in my head, at least. I didn't say it, but it's just like, just close it. But I'm glad to hear you got out unscathed. You aren't hurt. It's good. Good to hear. Paul T. in the trade floor. He said, bought 10 daily 526 spy calls at 84 and sold out at 107. Great job, dude. That's a crazy percentage. Good job, Paul. I wait for days like this. Good morning, Ashley. My bad, I didn't see that till just now. I keep forgetting to check that little message chat on the right. I just stare at Trade Floor and I'm like, this is where everyone is. They just need to make that open chat button a little bit more visible. It's like hidden within the channel. I like it though. You made 300% on that? Jesus Christ, I don't feel bad for you at all. He's like crying. He's the meme with the crying and wiping his tears with money. Who is that? Woody Harrelson from Zombieland? Yeah, just like wiping his eyes while he's crying, and it's just a bunch of money, a bunch of Bill Murray's money. You were going to YouTube, but you're like coming to the Discord. Yeah, I saw Tobias's message before I came back and unmuted my mic. And what did he say word for word? I gotta read that again. That actually made me laugh. He put 10th. Oh no, he said good morning, 10th like of the stream. I like it. And then he put, now get your ass in the Discord. I don't like the music or the delay. Kevo saying, hey, big head. Got some goofballs in here. Yo, I'm having deja vu. If you guys check Trade Floor, I'm not making fun of Micah here, so nobody comment on this. I just like poking at Micah because he's been here for so long. But if you go into the Trade Floor, Micah's actually having one of these like schizophrenic sessions right now where he's forgotten he's had this conversation already. But right now he's in the Trade Floor saying, did you know that NVIDIA is related to the AMD CEO? Yes, I did know that. I think Misi said, yeah, she said, yeah, her, they're cousins. I think they are cousins. They're like second cousins or something weird. But yeah, AMD and CEO are related. But he's had this like schizophrenic conversation multiple times. Y'all have to check this. I promise. There's receipts in the search bar. If you copy and paste NVIDIA related and AMD, I promise you see there's like 2 or 3 other conversations like this, and it's every year. It's like different years. It's pretty funny. I'm gonna send him a schizophrenic meme later, and I'm gonna screenshot his message history. Yeah, we were just talking about exactly. We've had this conversation before, and I'm almost positive it has stemmed from Miker every single time. That's why I'm saying this. It's not like I'm going crazy. Like, no, I feel like I've read this like 6 different times. But it's like the same person. It's not different people posting it. Flush coming feels like it. I don't know. I don't feel like anything's coming. This just feels... It feels like a chart that should have fell, but then tech was like, hey, we're alive today. So I truly would weigh everything on the fact that tech is up right now. Up from open, I should say. Sorry, not up. They're not up at all. They're down, but up from open. Gotta give that context. Don't want to just say up or down. You might piss someone off. We are not up at all. We are barely above previous day low. Actually, I might leave my cursor on that for a second. Actually, let's just add that and stare at it. I'm gonna add the demand of previous day low. I need to add the high. I'm just gonna add some basic levels for triple Q. We're not even gonna completely chart it. I just want to look at some short-term reference. So we got the previous day high, we got the previous day kind of low demand area. I'm just looking at it as a whole, and then I'm gonna mark yesterday's open, which it seems like that's where they truly struggled from, was the CDO, the PDO, I should say. But they just had a lot of ugly consolidation here. It looks like they had multiple breaks of structure, like right here, right here. So this was like the first sign of like, oh crap, no new high made, no reject, or got a good rejection, and then they gave you a good break again of this area, just to kind of say, hey, we're definitely present. Not saying super bearish, but definitely present. And then they gave you the bearish retest. Excuse me, I am losing my voice. Let's go to the 5-minute now, or today, sorry. And you can see, yes, we've gotten into above the previous day low, but we have not broken the previous day low demand. So it's not perfect yet. If we get a push beyond 457.40 on triple Q, the tech chart, there's a good chance we see more bigger green candles. That's just in short. If we get a break of this level here, there's a good chance that chance dissipates. That chance just kind of disappears into the wind. So I would truly say tech is what a lot of us need to be worrying about right now. XLK, if you're looking at triple Q, great. Either of those are great. This is called the pure blood tech chart, in my opinion. That's what I call it, at least, pure blood. This is not a mix of tech and other stocks. It's only tech. This is literally only tech. Yes, triple Q is regarded as the tech sector, but there are other stocks in there that are mixed in that aren't 100% tech, right? And that's why I like looking at this, because this truly tells me if tech is going up or down. This truly tells me if healthcare is going up and down. This truly tells me if banks are going up and down. Same for discretionary, same for comms. So, gives us a little bit more of a clear view, I should say. All right, I'm just going to go to today 5-minute. We don't need to keep zooming in like that. So IWM trying their best to hold above the 202.50. We saw the triple Qs were just kind of slowing down after that big move from the open. I wouldn't say it's super bearish yet. Like we said, they're still holding above previous day low. SPX kind of fighting the middle of the opening candle. Alright, I'll quit clicking around for a second. We'll just kind of wait. What is up, Jacko? How you doing, man? Good to see your name. Netflix looks like it wants to go to the moon. Yeah, for I was sitting there looking at like, oh, comms are lagging if we keep dropping, and it actually looks like Netflix can just keep flying. What's going on though, guys? How is everyone feeling? How do you feel in your trading? Do you feel lost? Give me a 1 if you feel like you're lost. A 10 if you feel as confident as you've ever been. Of course, a 5 would be a good in between. Slanging parts and saving lives. I love that. Hope you guys are good. Hope you're good too, man. Glad to hear the parts are going good on your end. Jack opened his own business and is kicking ass so far. Deuce says a 5. That's a good number. Not a horrible number to be at. Definitely better than a 1 or a 2 or a 3. Garden says an 8. I love seeing that. An 8. The confidence is rising. Mel said 0. That's not good. That's horrible. I didn't even put that on the spectrum. Susan said a 6. Okay, that's a great number to be at too. Kind of working your way up, slowly but surely. That's a good thing. And that's another thing, guys. Don't worry about time. Like, yeah, progression can take its time, and yes, it sucks. Like, you got to be patient because it feels like some days you're just like going back to square one. But you got to remember, you're not going back to square one. Going back to square one would be not you losing everything. I mean, that would suck, but going back to square one would be deleting everything you've learned up to this point, right? So really, a lot of you guys who have learned some of this stuff and get to that point where you're putting money in your account and trying to trade, you're really not falling back to square one. You're falling back to like square two, if that makes sense. So don't be too hard on yourself. You have progressed, even if you feel like you haven't. You just got to start looking at this stuff more and reviewing and talking out loud to yourself more, being more open. If typing or talking in chat helps, do it. If kind of just keeping it to yourself and being comfortable, like that's really the key, is being comfortable. Please be comfortable. Use that to grow your confidence. Use your reviewing of what you've done up to this point to grow your confidence. Don't use big gains. Don't use that stuff. You have 2 hours of sleep. That's why you're a 0. Okay. I meant in general, not just for today. But I'm glad to hear you're a 0 just because of that. You need to get some sleep, Mel. What are you doing? And this is where Mel goes, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Alexa says, congrats, Jack. That's my dog. Jacko said, my confidence in trading is there currently for obvious reasons. I mean, yeah, you got your mind somewhere else right now. You're not worried about trading. You sold your second engine for your second biggest payday so far. Contract for the new shop will be finalized by the end of the week. I love to hear that, Jack. Glad to hear your business is kicking ass, man. It's really starting off really good. Don't slack, man. Keep it up. Keep using your passion to keep your business going. Looking for Thursday's close to long potentially. Taffy, you said -10. Jesus. Nard says a 4. Okay, I mean that's again not a horrible number to be at. 5's kind of the median, but we can definitely work ourselves back up. I genuinely, guys, I'm not joking. When I feel like I'm in my shittiest like feeling, when I feel like I'm not progressing, or if I feel like I'm just like not moving it, like I just feel stale. I really do take the time to not just review my own trades or just things that I thought were good trades, but just go take some pretend trades. Like, not today, don't do that right now. I would go into like yesterday, just be like, all right, well, where was the good trade? You know, the good trade based on this system. What should I be aiming towards or limiting myself towards, right? And if it doesn't look that amazing or that great, it's like, okay, well, I just didn't need to take a trade then, right? And you're going to start noticing that, and you'll start to be like, wait, I don't need to trade every day. There's going to be days where there's like 600 opportunities. There's going to be days where there's like 1, right? So don't be mad at yourself. Try to be patient with yourself. I know it can be very hard, but I feel like that's truly key to keeping you in the game is being patient with yourself. It has nothing to do with the money. Reminding yourself of whatever you're trying to trade by. In our case, it's the system, right? Trying to limit ourselves to it. And whatever strategy anybody in here is using, I know not everybody uses the same exact damn thing, but limit yourself to it. I mean, come on, you have it on your screen for a reason. Limit yourself to it. What do I mean by that? You know, there's only certain ways you should approach something when it does something, right? It's being conditional. If this, then that, right? If price breaks up, that's an open range breakout. If price breaks down, that's an open range breakout under this level, blah, blah, blah. You know, understand what it's doing and then track what should you be going for when it does that certain thing. Right, so if you get a breakout and a retest, like we are with our system, for example, we're 80% confident because it's not just a breakout, it's a hold of the breakout. So we're a lot more, okay, I'm definitely getting in this. You know, you're definitely more into it. You want to get into that trade. Whereas at 40%, we're like, okay, we'll get a breakout, and yes, that's bullish, but it's like, all right, let's see if it continues to hold that. Is there any other signs that can pop up for me? And that, like in our system, tells me to get in. Or not. Sometimes it's to scream at you, hey, don't touch this. This is not good. Just based on candlestick patterns, based on the positioning of those candles, right? So if I see a lot of seller candles pop up, and I know that I've already broken under something good, under a good support, I've gotten a nice buyer move, we made it back up to a resistance in which we fell from, right? And then we get a lot of seller pressure there. I have to assume that if I take a trade there, there's higher chances I make money on puts more than calls there, right? And guess what? Let's say it breaks the thing that I was so bearish on, right? Let's say I was super bearish against, let's just say this level randomly, for example's sake. Let's just say I'm super bearish on 526.34, right? And I get into puts. I'm super happy with it. I'm excited about my trade, right? A lot of us do. It breaks that level. What do I do? It then not just breaks it, it closes over that level. What do I do? Do I freak out? And do I just hold my position? Do I average down? No, I get out. Because that was where I was bullish, or that's where I was bearish, right? So if it breaks the level I was bearish on, then I get out. That's my condition. That's how we like to trade with our system. Find those little rules and conditions for yourself with every little thing that you do. Limit yourself. Find the better probabilities in each situation. It's not going to be perfect or super clear every time. Guess what? When it's not super clear, you shouldn't be touching it. That's a very obvious answer for yourself. But approach your strategy or however you like to trade like that, and you'll be dangerous. But like I said, that's why I think the key to keeping yourself in the game is being patient with yourself, because there's going to be weeks where you don't see as much progression. There's going to be weeks where it just explodes, and for some reason, you're killing every chart that you pull up. So give yourself time. Seriously, it's a true pain in the ass. And like I said, be more open. There's so many people in chat who are open with not just what they're doing. I'm not talking about like post your trades, post your results, post how you're feeling, post what you're thinking, post what you think the market is doing, post an update on a level based on something you've posted previously. Update something. There's a lot going on there. It's not just you need to be looking for a trade. Sometimes it's just you need to be just looking to update something to kind of get your head in the game, to get a running start. Do all of you guys just hit the track? No, a lot of us like to stretch right beforehand, or at least walk for a couple seconds so our legs feel alive before you start running, right? It's the same thing with trading. You don't just jump into a trade instantly. Got to get a little bit of context first. Post by Daffy. Posting on the dollar. I see a couple great updates by Fantastic John. He's also, he's always amazing updating the sectors. I love it. Good job, Daffy. Good job, John. Really good post by Misi. See, that's what I literally just got done talking about it, and this is what I'm saying right here. If you go to TradeFlow right now, Misi posted a chart, right? Click on her replied message, though. It says SPY is at the control point of previous day low to current day open. So she has an update. She says rejecting, right? She's replying to it. She's giving a further update. This isn't for you guys. This isn't to look cool in front of everybody. This is because this is how we've learned. We update things. Oh, still holding under. Okay, now we know. If it breaks that, then she knows, oh, okay, well, we're probably going to get a really nice move above that and make it to whatever the level is above that. If we reject it, okay, this is a perfect spot to look for potential rejection. So she's giving herself areas to look at for trades. She's not giving herself just random information, and she's updating on it. She's keeping herself warmed up. Like we said earlier, you stretch before you run, you walk before you just straight up run. So, very good example right there, right after we just said it. Mel said, I've been very disciplined with only one trade, and I just love it, and most powerful time has been 1 p.m. There you go. See, Mel, you're finding your little niche. Nice. $10 said 50% gains on my AMZ calls. All out. 27% on my AMD puts. All out. Need to get ready for breakfast meeting. 38% gains on Apple call. Damn, $10, you're just everywhere. Killing it. Kem said MCD is breaking down. You have piqued my interest. If anybody knows anything in chat, they know that I have a weakness for McDonald's. Stock, not the actual food. They're mid. I used to like McDonald's a lot more when it was like, you know, affordable. But now that it's a little bit more, you know, costlier for McDonald's food, it's pretty crazy. They slapped the word inflation on it. Can you believe that? What is this gap fill they're doing? Oh, be very careful. 251.14 is a gap fill. Oh, we gave Misi the love on her post, and look, Sand post or gifted a membership, and that's who won it. Nice. That is someone who deserves it. Why can't I screenshot? Good eye, by the way, Cam. Sorry, I didn't get to comment on anything. It looks like there's just a gap there that they're trying to work towards. But you do have a really good level down there at 245. What is this fib coming from? What was I doing here? Oh, okay. The weekly dip. Okay. I think I was just looking for a positioning move there. But they never held. That's wild. They held once, held a higher low. Really good sign of life there too. Good hammer popping in, trying to make people think it's a higher low. This definitely ripped a lot of people's wallets. Oh, that's nasty. Alright, let's zoom in. Just kind of seeing more presence of buyers here, but I mean, they're not just jumping with life either, so... So again, let's go back to tech, because this kind of was the thing that was keeping us kind of in the game, and we could see we did hold that level perfectly, but they are also having a hard time making that new high. So it's like we're stuck between two very tight areas right now. For the thing that was moving the market the most, this is not a good sign. But let's see. If they end up making a new high, should be seeing some new recent highs here on SPY, at least intraday wise. Weird, I was typing a message and it went away when the gift came through. YouTube is like, psych. Excuse me. What's up, Elisa? How you doing? Oh, Amazon calls. My bad, Sandal. I should have just guessed that. I was like, AMZ? I was like, whatever. He's on something new. That's funny. So based on the game plan this morning, just kind of remind everybody. Today we said word for word, 15 minutes before the open, based on the daily levels, we broke the breakout fib in pre-market to the downside. We see that here. We see that very clear as day. And it is to be expected that we test the lows of 524.60 or a retest chance near the breakout fib range where we just saw the drop, right? And this is to see if we get bought up or if this gives bears a better buy. So right now you're looking for lower highs under this area until proven otherwise, right? So if we get a breakout above that, we have to assume that this kind of ruins the chances for better buys by bears. If that makes sense. I know it's a lot of B's I'm saying right now. Beats, Battlestar Galactica, all that good stuff. But right now you want to look for selling pressure under this area. So if you see a good just, you know, big red candle and then you see a lower high of that red candle, take that chance. It's a very good idea. At least under 527s. But if we pop 527s, this diminishes those chances. Also, we are holding above today's open, just to give a little context. So I don't want you thinking that we're completely moving. SPX is under today's open. So a little different there. Completely different story. Again, I'd be looking for lower highs and selling pressure until we see a break. Until I see tech break above 457.40s, until I see SPY get above 527s, I have to assume bears are here. We've gotten the buyer move up. We have a more attractive buy here. Things are a lot cheaper now for bears. It doesn't look as obvious as it was an hour ago. So I actually think this is a lot better spot of the chart to look for. And clear invalidations. What was I saying earlier? If I'm bearish against something, or if I'm bullish against something, and it breaks that something, I need to stop being bearish or bullish, whatever I was, right? And we've now made it to that spot. So this is a perfect example of what we were just talking about. Dollar new high of day. Good looks, Daffy. Misi said, I still struggle taking trades when not having a good read on price action. Happened again during yesterday's morning session and took an L. Need to be more disciplined and limit myself more. 100% that's what you need to do. 100%. And it might seem like obvious and easy to say, and it might not feel like, oh, this is actually helping. But like, seriously, limit yourself. Like we were just explaining earlier. You know, go back 20 minutes in the stream. We we're just breaking this down because of that. You know, it's easy to feel lost. It's easy to feel lost, especially when you're doing a consistent routine of trying to look for the same thing. There's going to be days where you don't get a good read and it just feels like you just fumbled, or you feel like you kind of tripped up and it's like, all right, what am I looking for? I feel like everything looks like crap. You know, and in those moments, it's really where you need to remind yourself, maybe there's just not a trade here. And even if there was, you didn't see it in real time, whatever. You know, move on from that, review it, try to remember it, move on. And then hopefully the next time, if you do see something similar or in kind of the exact same fashion, maybe you'll take the risk. But I definitely agree with you though, Macy. And good self-review too, not just... I hate when people are like, man, I feel so dumb. And then it's like nothing is reviewed after. See, Macy, even if she did say something about feeling lost or struggling, she at least at the end was like, all right, well, this is what I need to do more. Just kind of saying it out loud, kind of setting an expectation for yourself to try to work towards. It's good. Because then you're gonna, next thing you know, Misi, for example, is gonna be reviewing trades or reviewing whatever she's been doing, and she's gonna see, oh, this is where I slipped up, or oh, this is what I was having a problem with, or oh, this really was ugly, I didn't need to touch anything. You know, whatever the result is. Shouldn't have traded, but it's okay. I honestly didn't even look much at yesterday. Let's see. I saw based on my levels from today because I redid them, but let me see. Not that one. This one. I did see this one. I saw this was a pretty clean trade, but that didn't come into 110. This was a pretty nice retest trade. I could see why puts were pretty attractive all morning, but it looks like they were really grinding y'all out. Like they didn't let y'all have anything. So it's whatever. This feels like a FOMC day, oddly enough. Like that looks like a news day. And there's those buyers stepping in. Let's see, where are the triple Qs at? Are they finally breaking that? Yes, they are, guys. The trigger for more bulls to step in has occurred. Triple Qs are back above 470, or 470? 457.40, sorry. Saying all these different numbers, I think, throws me off because I'm like reading 500s on SPY every other second, which is showing up on SPY, so that's a good sign. For buyers short term. We are still under these good levels that we're looking to see if more bears show up at, though. And Apple's still the only main green weight. I see Amazon's also holding its green, Google flipping green, J&J flipping green, Netflix is of course been green, they're kicking ass today. Nike slight, Ulta slight. But a lot of blood in the water right now. Looks like all those solar stocks are back up. Which I love to see this, because this is going to become a really good bearish trade eventually. This is so good for us. Where is ENPH? Where are you at? Here you is. Gonna have fun with those. Alright, can we get our bearish presence here eventually, or can we pop over 527s? What's going on here? We're just kind of getting to the party. Now it's time to look for the important information. See you later, Daffy. The afternoon was a lot better than the morning. That was yeah, 100%. Carter said, I've been having a difficulty with the dynamics of each position and navigating when to just take profit or continue to hold. Staircase has definitely helped. There you go. See, I like that. That's a good response too to yourself. Not just saying it, but also kind of giving yourself some feedback. I agree. Because it is difficult. That's why the staircase system exists. Like, there's gonna be days where you're just like in the zone and you're not even thinking about it. You're just like, I'm in here, I'm taking profits here, right? But then there's gonna be days where you're thinking about it super heavy and you're like, wait, should I hold here? You know, you're just kind of like questioning yourself. You know, what did you? And my question every time I hear somebody ask that is, what was the plan beforehand? What did you tell yourself to do before? You know. And then try to remember, oh, that's probably what I should aim to do. Let me not stray away from what I planned, even if a better outcome occurs, you know, whatever. But no, I definitely agree, because it can definitely feel random at sometimes. But that's why the staircase system is a thing, because it's true. You know, you get into this position, let's say you've already taken majority profits or cut part of the position, you're just kind of looking at it, seeing what else to do or micromanage the rest of it. Good post though. I like how we asked that question and we got some really good responses. QCOM. Yeah, I'll look at QCOM. Why not? Why not? Daily or smaller time frame? I'm assuming daily time frame, but I'll wait to see what you say. Daily? I love the daily. I love to hear this. Thank you. I love the daily time frame. Alright, sorry I was stretching. So monthly emerging, monthly emerging, monthly emerging, monthly emerging. Oh, that's not an emerging. Monthly emerging, monthly emerging. Huge ass level here that needs to be added. We'll just add the top of that wick because it's pretty damn close. And that's it. We don't want to add this month's candle because this month isn't over. That wouldn't be fair to be like, oh, this is where the emerging candle is. That doesn't exist. It's a pivot point. So now we'll go to the weekly just to kind of view what can we grab here. So off the rip, I instantly can grab two different things. So I can go over here to the old all-time high, and I can just look to see where was the supply. So the high of this move to the open of the last red candle before the dip. So that would actually be the same candle. It's rare we see that. I'm going to add it to 2025 because I just want to see it over to the right. And if you want to add the perfect levels, you can. It's pretty much just that level and that level, but don't want to cluster it. And that's about it. I can't really add much more. You could add this demand down here, but there'd be no point. We have something else more important. So we're back to the daily now. So it is pretty much entirely focused on recent time frame price action because we're at a new high, which is good for Qualcomm. I would dot this line because we know it's the new all-time high. Make it yellow so we know it's different. There's really not much else you can grab here. I guess you could grab the recent high breakout. So you go from right here up to the high before the recent slowdown, which would be, where were we at? Come on. Right here. And actually ended up holding that move all in one candle. You got a single soldier candle, which is where you open a little bit higher and close higher than the previous day. So you open into the mix of it. And then you close beyond the previous day's high, so it's a very strong candle. Another higher open. This is probably just a continuation of the momentum from this candle, which is not really a surprise because we opened higher, which means there's a lot of money trapped right here. So when they opened up here, it gave them the chance to get that next higher open. Good sign, but probably a lot of taking profit. They didn't even get to that second extension. They got close. But now it looks like they're actually trying to hold over that retest. So it looks like, based on, again, just kind of talking to myself and getting context on what has happened up to this point, it looks like this candle and the low of this day is where the true control is short term. Because this is where the single single soldier came in, made that new high, made the continuation, and then we're just kind of seeing a take profit of that momentum. So this might not be that bearish. This might actually be just a slowdown because of it being so bullish. I don't know, pretty risky to take a new trade on this, but I do like that little retest example. But it's just one candle. It's not fair to be like, oh, it's going to jump after this. So be very careful. I also, doesn't NVIDIA have, no, not earnings. They did that already. Sorry, I'm still trapped in PTSD earnings mode. It's old time thinking about, yeah, that's it. So you don't have to worry about earnings either. But any dip under that, I would be very cautious, and I would wait for even more consolidation just because of an extra pullback. So if you get another leg down after that move, Alexis, I would look to see that area that I charted under. Do you get some basing there? So looks like we're looking for more information on that one. But there is some potential sign of life there for a bullish retest. With an invalidation point, don't forget it. Alright guys, are we about to get this bearish retest finally, or what? We didn't touch the level yet, but we got pretty close. I'd also like to point out we are still under this latest lower high of pre-market, so I think that's the only reason I haven't clicked off of extended hours yet. It's just nice to see that trend. Oh. No problem, Alexis. If you have anything different from me, or if you want to add on to anything I might have said, feel free to tag me and I'll read it out. I'm again not going to sit here and ever be like, guys, if I charted it, this is the right way to do it. Do it. Do exactly what I'm saying. No, there's going to be different ways of viewing the levels. Maybe you're a bear and you're waiting to see a bear setup, step in. Okay, we'll wait for that validation to say something to you. Hey, get in. So, nothing wrong with that. Morning, Bueller. Just hopped on. What's up, Zaya? How you doing? I was honestly waiting for you. I don't know what everyone else is here for. Just kidding, of course. Have my plans, German said, have my plans written out for Baba, Chewy. Man, I need to add Chewy and Baba and all that back. Mara and Spy. Missed the 40%, 80% entries on Chewy. It happened quick. Didn't want to risk it, even though the trade hit all targets. Still regaining comp. Hey, but that's amazing, though. You planned it, and it might have happened too quick. Might have been unexpected. But it looks like it still worked out. And you got to actually review something in real time. This is what I'm talking about. It's not about taking real trades yet, right? If we're still in this stage of trying to gain confidence to get into real trades, doing what you just did is the way to go about doing it. I know it's a lot of it's I just said. But growing your confidence is amazing, right? The only way of doing it is by the right way of doing it, at least, would be back of how you just did it. Retesting something and reviewing it in real time. You broke down, okay, here's my game plan. You looked at it, you saw it work out. You tried to point out where would you have taken a trade, where would you have not taken a trade. I like that. That's good, because now you're kind of separating yourself from what do I want to be a part of and what do I want to not trade, right? Now you're understanding not everything is a trade. Whereas most people who look at these charts, I'm not joking, guys, and we were all the same when we started out, every candle looks like a trade. You have to remember, every candle is not a trade. But very, very good post, Chairman. I love to see that. Again, another good response where we're not just seeing someone complain or break down something. We're seeing someone talk about something they're dealing with and then kind of adding something at the end to say this is what they're going to try to deal with it or what they might think about it. I like that. We're getting a little bit of self-feedback. That's good. Stream is on a roll today. We're only an hour in. Alright, off-topic question, but this is just a thing I have to ask. When you guys get orange juice, if you drink orange juice, do you get it with pulp or no pulp? I have to know. What kind of crowd am I working with here? Am I dealing with a pulp or non-pulp crowd? Serious answers only. And I don't have any like hate towards either side. I genuinely just want to know. I don't think there's really any hate towards either side. I think both are fine. At least for me, I don't know. Some people hate the pulp, some people love it. Alright, answers are coming in. Deuce said pulp in all caps. He is 100% with pulp. Ashmilly said no pulp. Garden said yes. Linwood is also with the pulp gang. Tobias says pulp and then filter it. Okay, he's creating his own category. Which wouldn't they all? Susan, no pulp. Jennifer, pulp. Cam, pulp. Alexis, pulp. God, saying pulp so many times in a way is weird. Light pulp. Okay, there we go. Got a fourth different category. Light pulp. I guess that's not a bad one. Pulp, no pulp. Straight up with pulp, lol. No, you're not weird. Ace says extra pulp. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for one of you to be like only pulp. No orange juice. Just give me the guts. That's it. Extra pulp, pulp for sure. No pulp. Okay. We're working with the mixed crowd here. This is good. I was thinking about it the other day. I was thinking about y'all when I wasn't here, and I was like, what is a question I've never asked them that is just really just like pointless, you know? I always ask you about your foods and just other stuff, and that's pretty big, but like, what is like a weird, just off-topic, offhand question? And I was eating an orange at the time. I was like, wait, I'll ask them about pulp. Ace says, clementines only. A little is fine when it's freshly squeezed. Oh, freshly squeezed is a different conversation. Lemonade, orange juice, anything that's freshly squeezed is just different. Half and half? That's a great answer, too. I like the light pulp and half answers. Alright, fair enough. We'll go back to price action. I just had to see. It's just good to know. Personally, I think I could drink it anyway. I really don't care. I'll drink it with or without. Though I will say, when you're not expecting it and you drink it with pulp, it freaks you out for a half second. When I was in Arizona, got some oranges for a random old man, fresh squeezed them babies, and it was so fire. Oh. Thank you, random old man. Green said Donatello. Deuce says, can we all just agree that orange juice is amazing? Oh, yeah, no, 100%. I wouldn't be talking about it unless it was amazing. Next question. Which Ninja Turtle is your favorite? Half the chat's going to be like, what? Green said Donatello. I'm going with Mikey. Michelangelo is the greatest. Without him, there's no laughter. Without orange, it's just Raphael. And those aren't the vibes we want. Everyone always jumps straight to the blue and the red Ninja Turtle, but it's the purple and the orange one that are the Semtex of that group. That are the glue. I haven't even seen Ninja Turtles in a minute. Are those new movies even good? Misi said Leonardo. Nice. Leonardo is the leader. Well, should be. Donnie and Mikey, yeah. I remember growing up on, oh, here we go, Grandpa Wake Up, was the VHS. I used to watch the VHS version of the super old version of Ninja Turtles. Those were so good. At least at the time. I'm sure right now if I'd watched them, I'd be like, what the hell was I doing? These are clearly old dudes in suits. That one where they go back in time was ahead of its time. They went like back in time and fought in like Japan, like old war Japan days. Barry Allen Clears. Raphael's the man. My favorite is Venus de Milo. React said OB to IB on IWN 15 minute. Holy, that's a call out. Hold up, I gotta check this. Is React on his A game or what is he on? Let's see. So he said OB, so that's an outside bar, to IB, inside bar. And he would be correct as of right now. We'll see if that closes like that. We have a few minutes on that candle, but as of right now, you were very, very on it with that call. That's a lot of indecision is what I would say. Because you have an outside bar, and you're basically waiting on information, is what the next candle should tell you. What is the next candle telling us? That it's also inside of this candle. So it's it's very indecisive is what I'm seeing. But it's you got to focus on the levels at that point. When there's indecision, focus on what they're controlling. What are they holding over right now? Today's open. So yes, things are a little ugly right now, but the control is holding over today's open. You can see XPX also getting over it. Wow. We were just saying how they were still under today's open while SPY was trying to not just hold over today's open, but move away from it. So, looks like we're actually getting some freed up movement. Tech moving a little bit more. Remember, guys, we talked about what can actually cause a bullish move here today, and it almost all regards with these two levels here on bulls. And this is what it's about. Like, I didn't know this beforehand. I didn't know this was going to be what we got the move. But after 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes of buying, and then kind of just going and reestablishing a game plan for the day, understanding, okay, tech is what's moving us. So what needs to happen for this chart to move this chart more is really what we did. So that's how we're seeing this buyer move right now. And right now we're just looking to see, does more seller pressure pop up here? So I want to see, do we get a high? Come on, draw. Do we get a high? Do we get a retest of that high and a break of structure? This will be key, is seeing this. Seeing this is really key to, you know, being bearish and having confidence behind it. If we don't get that break of structure, there is no pullback coming, even if a lower high is made. The break of structure must happen, not just a lower high. So that's what we're looking for here against this area. Whether you're on the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15, the 20, the 30. Stick to your time frame. And morning to anybody in the YouTube stream or Discord who might have joined it. I might not have seen you. Good to see you. Glad to be back. Glad to see you again. Glad to see everybody in here except... Never mind, I won't say his name. I don't want to give it life. Looking for some lower high under the zone on SPY. How does Triple Q compare to NASDAQ to XOK? So, as my explanation was earlier, I don't have an exact calculation for you. This is just my experience and how I've looked at it over the years. But XOK is what I call the true blood tech, whereas tech in general, Triple Q is a little dirtied up because there's other weights in here that aren't entirely related to this sector. Whereas this has only things related to that sector. So that's why I like to look at this as well, Zaya. So if you want to look at a more accurate one, and we did go back and look at this too. We were talking about the previous day lows. But just very cool. Just very cool to see this kind of just be a short-term validation or potentially invalidation for us being bullish or bearish on something else. But the difference is noticeable. The Triple Q and XOK movement, they are noticeable sometimes. I would say right now it's probably impossible to see it because they're getting a pretty good paced move up. But there are days where XOK is just shooting through the roof or flying through the floor, and your Triple Q chart is actually struggling because of a certain event that's happening to a weight that's within that sector. So, you know, it can definitely differ some days. That's why I like to use XOK on its own. But today I was just clicking over to Triple Q because I know some of you guys like to trade it, and I was just trying to find something else to look at besides SPY. But also kind of retouching up on that tech point that is what's moving us. And sorry guys if I'm rambling, I'm just trying to cover all the points I'm thinking of. Yes sir, that's what I was looking for. Not loving calls till we break pre-market high / the gap and the 0.5 if we make it there. Good looks, Maddie. See right there, you have triggers for yourself. If they don't hit, then what's the point of trading, right? Good job keeping yourself limited. German said 53 watching, need 53 likes. No, that's fine. We got over 50 people watching on my first day back. That's pretty damn good. I do appreciate the likes. You was going to say Leland, I know. No, not Leland. I like Leland. Without Leland, I'm sure I would have gone insane by now. I would say, though, the last few months in chat have been the greatest because it's really shown who's truly wanting to be here and who doesn't care. I swear, so many of you guys have shown up in different ways. You know, some of you have shown up a lot more than others, but some of you, man, it's incredible. Like, something could happen to the market, and I feel like I could go into the chat and just read everything I need. That's it. Like, that's how much trust I have in the chat now. It's just so cool to see the different number of leaders in here now. Whereas back in the day, it was just like 2 or 3 of us. You know, it was just like a group of people trying to help each other out. Now it's like a whole room of people, and there's like literally almost every person who posts is trying to help, is trying to lead or trying to lead themselves as well as others towards whatever their goal may be. Not trying to help each other out in the sense of like, hey guys, take this contract with me. Like, no, actually trying to help each other. Yo, this is what the strategy says. Why are you ignoring this? Yeah, and that's what we should be doing. Not criticizing each other, but giving each other constructive ideas to work towards. You know, it's like, yeah, you fucked up on this, but hey, why don't you do this and work towards this? give someone an out. Don't just say, hey, you fucked up, you dummy. Actually give them an out. Hey, look, why don't you review this? Or why don't you look at this or this or this? Or that? Just something. and maybe even talk to yourself that way. Hey, why don't you look at this? Why don't you review this trade? Why don't you go to your trade log? How are you doing on this? What kind of entries are you doing good at? Which entries do you suck at? Just kind of reviewing yourself, if anything. Sounds weird, but you got to be weird to be good at trading. You got to talk to yourself. You got to be able to review yourself. You got to be able to peel layers back of yourself that you didn't think were there. You got to be able to review not just your trades, not just the outcomes of your trades, but yourself. And I was gonna post Spy and Chap. It looks like everybody's beat me to it. Good looks, guys. Kind of excited because I think next week is when I am starting the Lifetime stuff. I have a lot of cool Lifetime events lined up. So if you guys are a Lifetime membership within the Discord chat, we're going to be doing a lot of just kind of like day-to-day breakdowns and reviews and stuff. And then we'll have a weekly call within the week. And then I kind of want to try to have like a video that I just record really early Sunday or really late Saturday night. And then I post it for you guys for Sunday, so you have it all day. So you don't have to get it Sunday night. You have it all morning. Because some of you guys are early birds. Some of you guys are the opposite. So I try to have the information out as soon as possible, because I know some of you guys will just eat it up. And then some of you won't see it for 12 hours. So I know all of you are different. But I'm kind of excited about that. It's more of like keeping each other in check, sticking to the routine kind of vibe. So I'm kind of excited about that. I think it's going to help me too. We missed you. Thank you, Elisa. German said weirdos assemble. Yes. That's how it's got to be. I talk to myself out loud while reviewing all the time. Sometimes while live trading too. That's good. That's good. I'm not joking. Every time I have talked to someone who's like a really good trader, they talk to themselves. It's a natural occurrence. Like you almost have to keep yourself in check out loud sometimes just to kind of keep things rolling, really. First lower high made on the 1 minute. Let's see what else we get. Good looks, Carter. But yeah, so if you guys are in Lifetime, be on the lookout next week. That is going to start. And I'll give a detailed explanation over the weekend, so there's not just me vocally saying it. I'll give you all a good organized post. But yeah, very excited about that. I also know that some of you guys feel left out because some of you weren't here during the creation of Course 1 or Course 2. And that's totally fine. There are video breakdowns where I streamed with the Lifetime group. So if you guys want to go through those, we went through course number 1 and number 2 together. So I would definitely take my time to skim through those if you want. But we'll definitely have more sessions where we go over that kind of stuff together. So don't worry about that. Don't feel left out. Old Lifetime members are like, sucks for you. Nike showing some signs of bulls entering light calls above 92.50. Good looks, Alexis. React said he's liking AMD. AMD's liking you, React. I don't have the right levels on here, so ignore some of these. Nice clear skies for AMD as long as they hold that 165.20s, it looks like. Nvidia also getting some buyers. It's a good sign seeing something outside of just AMD also getting some move. SMCI a little weak. They're trying to poke their head up as well. This went from a chart that looked like it was going to test and fall to a chart that, okay, wait, if this ends up holding a little higher, this could actually just keep going up. This went from a day that could have been really bad. What? God, do you guys ever get these DMs on Discord from like, it's clearly a scam account, but do you guys ever get these DMs where they're like, hey, I've seen you just recently get interested in crypto. It's like, how the hell would you know what I recently got interested in? Who are you? You got a camera in my room? It's just such a weird opener, you know? Like, if you were going to try to scam me, like, could you at least say something that makes sense? Could you, like, take your time to go to Google Translate and actually come up with a, like, sentence that makes sense? If you were going to attempt this? It just gets me. It's like, they're not even trying to scam. Which, good. I hope scammers stay dumb, because they need to. How long till we get a Bueller meme coin? Hopefully never. Hopefully that never comes out. That would be a pump and dump. If a Bueller meme coin came out, that'd be a pump and dump. Or just a dump. Who knows? Sorry, I was looking at chat. I didn't realize what I was zoomed in on. Ulta, ooh, coin taking a dip. Apple, still holding a lot of its gains. Actually looking like it wants more. 191.78, pretty important higher low support for that. I'll say, all these spiked up moves, Apple looks the healthiest. Like, a lot of these are just spiked up and they have, like, nothing up there. This is actually spiking and consolidating a little bit. It does have a clear spike, though. But let's see. Still kind of rejecting this 527 area, the previous day low. So, I mean, we're still not out of the water yet. This looks like the bearish retest is still trying to give off information. We need some more BB gear. I was rocking my t-shirt you made a few years ago this weekend. Oh, nice. Hopefully the color has remained intact. We tried buying decent shirts. I think that's why I haven't done it again, though, because honestly, it was kind of expensive. And it's not like I'm looking to get like a huge profit margin off of anybody for t-shirts. It was just cool to get the gear out to everybody, but damn did those shirts cost. And that was before inflation got worse. I didn't realize how much like good t-shirts costed when you do those like prints and stuff. I didn't go with that BS fabric. I went with the good stuff. Though next time it would be kind of cool to just get a bunch of other stuff. Excuse me. I'll work on that though, Carter. I'll try to work on something. The other owner, John, he's the guy who has all the designs. So I need to get that from him. Which recently he got a pretty big job and a promotion, so he's busy as hell. Also a hammer on the 30. Good looks, Mel. Wait, what am I... Oh. Ah, you're gonna get her to make you a BB1. Ah. See, that's genius. Don't wait for Bueller, just make your own. I was reading that Apple got some positive news up in China. I actually haven't been looking at news too often. I've honestly been focused on just what Eric posts, and then that's it. But let me actually open my eyes for a second. Alright, so what's moving the market today? We have rising market rates keeping pressure on the equity market. We know that. Profit-taking activity after another record high close for the NASDAQ. We know that. And broad-based selling. We know that. Okay, good. We're not out of date on any of the main pieces of news for today on the market. And then in corporate news, there was Advanced Auto, American Airlines, United Airlines, a lot of airlines, energy, some healthcare mixed in. Robinhood announces in the SEC filing that it has approved a share repurchase program for up to $1 billion of its outstanding Class A common stock. Okay. Let's see if I can find something on Apple. I don't care about Robinhood. Let's find something on Apple. Apple. There we go. And they changed the look on Financial Juice. I kind of like this. When you click on the actual individual ticker. This is nice. Apple is planning custom chips for confidential computing. Oh God, the first thing I see on here though is Jim Cramer recommends buying Apple. He finds the stock, in quotation, very interesting. Oh God. Apple brings back iPhone 14 Pro for the first time at a lower price, and they have refurbished. Apple's EU App Store sales remain steady despite regulatory changes. Yeah, I mean, Apple's pretty strong. I said it a while back when they were first getting into the cars, but I said they have so much FU money that they're one of the few companies who can enter the car market and then exit and be like, all right, we're fine. We'll just keep doing other things. But it's also nice to see that Apple's still in the car market because it looks like they're going to be trying to do deals with like Rivian and other companies. So they're not completely out of the cars. It sucks, dude. I really wanted that Apple car. Not even to buy it, just so we could like see more of them because they did look kind of cool. Dude said, just got out of my last put for 21%. He said, risky, but I'll post a review shortly. Take your time, man. Take your time. Good job, though. And good job, React. He was talking about how much he loved the AMD call short term. Oh, giving these a whirl. Previous day lowest stop loss. Okay, that's you posting it. Never mind. Good looks. Good looks. Misi said, spy 15-minute tweezer top. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot more than 20 minutes ago. But it's good to see. It's kind of doing what we talked about, though. Not just seeing one candle touch it and move, but seeing multiple candles try to maintain touching it and just kind of showing lower highs slowly over time, which this could still get bought up, but at least there's more lower highs showing up here now. It's not just one candle touching it. Check off topic. Bet. Checking here in a minute. which I need to move off topic channel to like just under trade floor or something, because I swear there are things in trade floor that do not need to be posted in there ever again. I saw political conversations like, Jesus, dude, come on. Let's keep this in the right channels, guys. This is y'all's chat too. And we all know we don't care about what people's beliefs are. You can believe in whatever you want in this chat. You can believe in Narnia for all I care. But dear God, do not force your ideals onto other people or I will kick you. For anything that's good in this world, please do not be that way. It's okay to butt heads, it's okay to have disagreeing opinions, but it is not okay to force your opinions onto others. I do not want to ever see that again. I don't even care what you support. Support whatever you want. Support Martians for all I care. The car conversation context got me thinking of that one. Oh, nice. I see what you mean, Jack. That would be a good shirt to do it with. You could just replace... Wait, is this your shirt for your company, or you're saying you're using this to make your shirt with? Because I'm pretty... Isn't this your company? This is actually a really good idea. I like your logo. No Bull Auto Parts. It like relates to the fact you like stocks too. It's like a hidden meaning. Somebody ever comes into your parts store and like, hey, do you trade stocks? Well, yes, sir, I do. Scratch his arm furiously. Good post by Letterbuck saying the dollar is consolidating just below 105. A break of 105, SPY should flush in my opinion. Let's see if I agree. I do agree. I agree heavily. A hold of this, yeah, 100%, because yeah, it's back above. Good call out, Letterbuck. He's on it. Holding, oh, HD holding to life. Good updates, guys. I'm not seeing any filler conversation. I see just amazing updates. We are traders, don't talk politics. Exactly, I don't care about politics. I had a watch list for if Trump won. I had a watch list if Biden won. I'll be honest, I'm very non-biased in that regard. I'm out, B. Gotta work. Have a great day. You too, Deuce. Have a great day, man. Thank you. You support pancakes? Facts. I'm a waffles guy, but to be honest, I'm pretty non-biased in that conversation too. Pancakes and waffles are amazing. Very fattening, but damn are they good. Nice job, Melis. You getting some quick gains out of that. My bad, I didn't realize I was zoomed out. Let me... Nah, we need to keep extended hours on. It's kind of annoying, but I need to leave it on. It just sets the tone for the trend that we're in. They did get above that lower high, but against previous day low, we've been rejecting, so... Good signs by both sides so far, but I would definitely say we're more in favor of bears until we see a pop over the previous day lows. That would be a great trigger for us definitely seeing more upside. Your slogan. Want to buy more parts? I need money for puts. 2 lower high under the previous day low so far, SPY. Good call by Alexis. He said on, and that's on the 1 minute for anybody who's asking. He said there are 2 lower highs under previous day low on the 1 minute for SPY. And there's your new recent low. I like that. Actually getting a continuation, like, push of that. A good follow-up move. So even if this gets wicked up, very, very good push away. D from NYC. That's an old ass name. Good to see you, man. He said, glad to see my lifetime still works. Yeah, it doesn't run out. You pretty much have it as long as everything is here. Which I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. Good to see you, though. A member since August 16, 2019. A long-ass time. Nice push away, guys. I'm glad we kind of kept our bearish bias up while remaining, you know, non-biased in a way too. Just kind of reminding ourselves like, yeah, we're bearish, but if it does this, we're bullish, you know. So really good push away from the levels we're looking at. Good job. And I'm sure a few of you guys in the 1 minute are killing it because I know for a fact y'all are getting clean moves on that time frame.
A lot of good updates by everyone.
Alright, now let's see. Do we get some buyer reaction finally? Give us a better buy for another lower high, or is this just going to dump? And I say that because of just positionally. You know, we pushed up here. We created a little bit of a resistance right here. And this is kind of where we're reacting. So this is the next area of importance in my opinion. And you don't necessarily need to grab this, but it should be very obvious to you that, okay, look, there's a resistance here that we broke. They retested it, they moved up, we're almost back to it again. And it's not just that level, it's kind of like a little region. That's why I grabbed both. But that's definitely what we're going to be looking at right now. So that's why I say good move for now. Let's see what else we get. I'm not trying to say it's over. I'm just saying short term we have hit a pretty good spot. And in pretty good amount of time. From the good rejection candle we were all looking at, within 3 candles they made the move to down to there. So it didn't take long. Good job, Matty Ice. He said scaled one here at the 0.5 from current day open to current day high. Good job, Matty. Good updates by Carter and a couple other people here in the trade floor as well, all kind of calling out the same thing we're kind of talking about here in the stream. So it's just good to see everybody on the same page, or more people on the same page. And there we go. It is dipping a little bit more. Let's see if we get a bigger drop here, though. We're at the end of this 5-minute candle. 40 seconds left. And thank you guys for almost 40 likes on today's stream. That is a lot, actually. We had over 110 people click on today's stream. Ooh. I swear that bigger time frame thing has helped me out a lot. And that's what I used to do in the beginning, but I swear I started straying away from it. But just kind of reminding yourself, like, all right, where should I be bearish? And then just, again, kind of applying that same knowledge, but like on your smaller time frame levels. And look, it all lines up. And when it does line up, it gives you higher probability situations. No, not every time is it going to be clean. Is it going to be perfect? And look at that. We were kind of marking that off just for fun. Look where they perfectly stopped at. 520. Oh, I say that. Look where they perfectly stopped at. Next candle dumps. Oh, that is such a good move for you guys. Do not be greedy, man. If you're in some nice trades right now, do not be greedy. Because normally they're supposed to stop it here. They actually made it down to the bottom here. That is a very, very good move. Do not be greedy. The pacing of that was crazy. I'm not surprised that that's wicking instantly. Very, very fast move there. And for anybody here who might be taking mental trades, you're not in a real trade, you're just kind of following along, do not feel like you're missing out. This is a just as good trade for you as it is with somebody making real money. Yeah, you're not getting that monetary touch to it, but you are getting reps, and that's very important. So focus on reps. Do not feel discouraged or like, oh, I wish I had real money in this. Shut up. Shut that voice up. I don't want to hear that ever again. You got to get these mental reps in. I don't want to hear that dirty excuse again. Pulled the trigger on Nike 96 calls for 6-7. Let's see. Good looks, Alexis. Stick to your plan. Got filled on that wick. Nice little move. Good job, Maddie. I was curious how some of you were on that wick, because I know some of you probably had a runner to some extent. And at the same time in trade floor, React posting his AMD follow-up, and he is up 25% now. Great job, React. Kevo, my bad, man. I completely missed his message. He says it's like the levels work or something, and he's showing his chart, and it again just has all the simple, basic information we like to use here. Look at that clean move. He sees the move up to previous day low. He sees the rejection. We made it down to that other area of consolidation that's above CDO. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful example of the levels. And good job again, React, Kevo, anybody in the chat, Misi, Letterbuck, Deuce. Thank you for leading by example. I don't want to be in a server full of followers. I like that we have a group of people who are just here, glad to be here and leading their own routes, limiting ourselves, trying to be open. It's really nice. This is truly something nice, what we have here. It's not a group of people trying to make, I mean, clearly we are trying to make money. I'm not trying to say that, but at the same time, it's not like that though. Like nothing is geared towards that here. Like it really is about slow progression, working on yourself. And it's just nice to see every leader in chat just popping off now. I like it. Whereas I swear, and I don't pay attention to other chats, but I know for a fact that how things have turned out the last couple years, a lot of chats these days are geared towards, if you aren't making 50%, you're stupid. And that kind of mindset is just wrong. It is very wrong. You're never going to build yourself up that way. That's just never going to happen. I hate to see it because the majority of people are going to fall victim to it, but we're not going to gear ourselves towards the same things. That's just wrong. If you aren't going for these if you've never even heard the expression mental reps or getting these mental trades or even know what I'm talking about, that's an issue. That's a problem. If I'm not your first, if I'm not your first group and you're hearing these for the first time, that is a red flag. You guys should be getting plenty of mental reps before you're taking these live trades. And you might think, oh, it's so I don't make as many mistakes. No, it's so you understand what you're going for. You're literally just guessing if you aren't taking these reps. You're just guessing. Trading is where you actually have a plan in place. But a lot of you guys, all you guys already know that. I don't need to explain that to y'all. Let's see here. What else is getting posted? I see a lot more now. German, you're scaring me. What are you about to type? I've seen you typing in the trade floor for a minute now. Don't be scared. If you got something to say. Oh, there's a big message. Okay, good. So he said bears. A pump in rejection of 527.11. Target pre-market low, recent low, stop loss break. Hold up. I'm going to read this to myself. Ah, nice, German. Nice. This is what I'm talking about right here. Having a game plan beforehand, right? Therefore, afterwards, when you're looking back at this stuff, you can kind of relate it to what you said beforehand and be like, all right, how close was I? Or like, where was I? Was I in the ballpark? Was I just way off? What's up? It's about setting up a bearish trade and a bullish trade. Just kind of setting up the not trades, scenarios, I should say. What can happen from here, before the market's open. Good stuff, German. And it's a really, really nice feeling, too, because it's like relief. Like, you feel a sigh of relief. Like, oh, wow, what I planned actually worked, and you're going to start to notice that more. Good job, though. He said it would be crazy to see this wick up or not. That would be pretty wild, which, I don't know, I say wild, but in my head, that's so natural nowadays. You get, like, such nice, clean moves, and then you get these crazy wicks. But very, very nice, uplifting message. I'm really happy to see that. Glad to see your plan is working just as you posted. I just wait for your call out. Shut up. And it's funny too, because most people in our chat, at least, well, at least with how I've recognized it, there's a lot of people in our chat who can definitely feel the plays happening before they happen, but they don't have control of themselves, and they get in too early, or they get in and then maybe they're too greedy, or maybe they get into a good trade and they don't let go of it because they forget, like, oh wait, I'm in a time decaying option. It's not just time decaying. There's so much more going on there, like volatility, the pressure of it. It's just, you don't want to sit in trades too long while price is grinding up or grinding down at too slow of a pace, because then you're just losing everything you have in there. Whereas being wrong faster is actually a lot better, because you'll see, like, oh, I invalidated, I'm out, here's my loss. You're okay with it. Whereas when you grind up or grind down, it's very hard to get yourself out of that trade or convince yourself to cut it, because at each grind up or grind down move, you're like, oh, it's finally going to pop my direction, finally, and then it just goes back up, or opposite. You know, so it's good to have good clear invalidations, but also kind of have a good presence of mind of like, wait, I don't need to be in this trade for 3 hours long. I don't need to be averaging down every, 45 minutes. It's not a good thing at all. Which I don't see too much of that in our chat, but just a good thing to kind of remind yourself of. Yes, we are limiting ourselves to our system, but we also need to remember the limits of ourself just in general. Can I trade 10 times in a day? Yes. Should I? Probably not. That's a good conversation too with what we talked about before. Like each decision you make in a day, like going to your job or picking up your kids from daycare or going home and making dinner, like these are all like big these are all big things you're doing, but they're things you have to do, right? But in trading, these are like conscious, I don't even know what you'd call it, like a psychological decision, right? Where you're like, I'm getting in, or I'm getting out, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that, right? In your trades. And can you make a bunch of those in a day? Yes. But the more you make of them, the more exhausted you're going to be, the more diluted your like future decisions are going to be, because they're not going to be as rested, you're not as focused, you're not as organized, so you want to be more organized when you're getting into these trades. If you feel like you're clustered, 9 times out of 10, if you take that trade afterwards, do you know what you're going to directly complain about? Not being focused. So it's like, well, dude, you were aware of your problem, why'd you trade? So that's another thing, just kind of noting this stuff. It's not really to like get onto yourself, it's just to remind yourself. Note, how do you feel, in your game plan? You like your game plan, and then did you sleep an hour? Okay, well, you probably should go take some rest or like step away or something. Because you're not going to make an as good of decision as if you were focused. Mel said, I can't keep my eyes open. Yeah, Mel, you were like a direct example of what I was just saying, except you had 2 hours, though. I said an hour. You had double the time I said. Nah, I'm just kidding. Mel, you should get some rest, though. That's a lot of time. And you got 2 hours and 40 minutes before your golden window. So, you got time for a nap, unless you're at work or busy. Knowing Mel, he's probably busy. You heard me. I said window. I'm probably trying to say 5 words at once. What's a golden wind down? I can't even be like, I didn't say that, because you could just go clip it, and it probably did say it. Garden Trader said, would you consider this touch from below previous day demand enough action to consider that turning demand? Yes, 100%, because lower highs have been made under it. Yes, and I do have parameters, lower highs or bearish rejection, in terms of like, do I see a candlestick? Because there isn't really a crazy bearish candlestick here, but there's an inside bar right here. And I know I didn't talk about it, but we were more focused on just the trend in general. So that is one parameter for me. But I like that this became an inside bar of this candle, and then from there we broke down. So it's like I'm getting lower highs, but I'm also getting more kind of like inner confidence within that trend too. So more often than not, I like to look for a lot more than that. I like to look for lower highs, and then I like to look for them to break this base. But there really wasn't ever like a real base they made here. It just kind of made that inside bar and then broke it. So that had to have been where I was looking for. So not as clean as I might have been looking for, but that was still, in my opinion, obvious. Because the first touch hit, and it's like, all right, well, hold up. We could be super bullish here. You know, this could have flown up to 527.50 for all I know. But it didn't. It made an inside bar. So now I know, okay, it's slowing down, or it's about to tell me if it's more bullish or not. So if this next candle would have actually closed higher, I might actually be saying the opposite right now. I might be saying, oh, guys, we're headed towards 530s. Because of the power of an inside bar. But it also had positioning, and it had that rejection, so... yeah, I would definitely say that was enough to keep what was support as resistance. But this already kind of happened in pre-market perfectly. It already kind of moved away from it. And normally I don't count this stuff because it's pre-market, but there was so much price action around this. I mean, it broke it, moved away from it once, twice, 3 times in pre-market, right? So it wasn't inevitable that we would get another one, but it's nice to see that they did keep that lower high trend with that move. With going up to the same spot. Where we saw weakness, seeing it again. Around 527.11 area. But yeah, I would definitely say that was enough. Not just in pre-market, but also in the open market session, which I wouldn't always note that, but if you see both, I think it just kind of adds extra confidence of like, yo, this is definitely resistance. Just kind of a clear sign. No problem. That was a really good question, Garden Trader. Thank you for asking that. I'm sure there's other people who are trying to think about how to ask that and just couldn't think about how to word it, so thank you. Maddie said, sorry, got bothered at work, grabbed it 2 at 0.28, was able to scale 1 at 0.38, and now all out at 0.48. Huge moves on your contracts, Maddie. So you made 10, 20, 30, 30 after using... What is that, 56? That's really good. That's really good. Percentage. The trade, too. But remember, it's not about the percentage of the trade outcome right now. We're more focused on how did your game plan do and how did you do in terms of that? Like, how did you contain yourself? And you seem to have done very well. I saw you mention it multiple times. You got bothered at work and you still managed your trade, which I feel like a lot of the times people in here, when they let that happen to them, sometimes they can get flustered or just kind of just, you know, messed up in the head like, oh crap, I gotta get out of my trade. They worry about other things. So it's nice to see you were able to control yourself while also being bothered at work, which I think is a huge feat. All right, guys, so we have some definite just trend indecision overall. Like, yeah, we're definitely bearish, don't get me wrong. But we are building some buyer reactions above today's open. So you gotta, and this is something I noticed about yesterday, and I'm sure some of you hated this about yesterday's price action, but it was all about, let me just go to the daily. It was all about trading within the previous day, right? And I had posted this day was probably going to be an inside bar. It was. And then yesterday I posted, I think at night, because I wasn't going to be here, or in the morning, I said, look above previous day highs and previous day lows. Most of the price action stayed in between those, but look at what they did. You got bounces off of the previous day low, and you got rejections off the previous day high. So they gave you good range trades. It just was ugly. And now today, you know, kind of given that same context, just like we have today's open, today's lows down here, we have the previous day lows right here. So you could almost make the same conversation that they could do some bouncing and rejecting in between these two areas now, if they are not going to give us new highs or new lows. So if we're not getting any new trend direction, we have to assume we're going to be getting some buying and selling at the same time today. So today could just be a weird settle day, but we got some really good moves today. We got some good tech buying. We got a good pull away from a good area that a lot of us were probably more geared towards. I was definitely way more focused on looking for trades against this than getting trades towards it, that's for sure. So we got good move. We got one really good move with our game plan, and then a second kind of not as expected move. So can't complain. XLK holding on to 215 as a support still. Very good sign for bulls short term. It's probably where this extra excitement's coming from, considering tech has been the reason we've been holding so well. So even though they failed and fell back into range again, possibly building a higher low and a second attempt above this area. So we'll see if new highs are made or not. But this at least gives those bulls a chance short term. But still, positionally we're still bearish. Not just on the smaller time frame, but also on the bigger time frame. Lovely how those line up. AMD is struggling. My bad. React, I was supposed to go to AMD for a second. I wanted to see how you were doing. Oh my gosh. He said, my bad, 93, and we're off. AMD struggling with golden. Oh my gosh, React. Good call out, dude. And he went into the trade floor too. Posted the contract he was in. He came into the YouTube. I mean, he went in both chats and said, yo, I'm bullish AMD. Follow me if you want. I love the confidence being shown. Good move, React. You deserve that. Let me back up and see what else is going on here. They fell. They spiked under 164.40s. And it was around right here, I believe you were looking at the recovery move, which is good. God, round of applause for React. And disregard my AMD chart. Not all my levels are fixed. I like messed it up that 1 week and I haven't fixed it since. So I'm sure some of those levels are wrong if you're looking at that and asking yourself, what the hell? Good job though, React. I love seeing that. It's not about the money being made to me. It's just, it's so cool when someone's like, yo, I think this is going to happen. And then they kind of post a game plan around it, like a calculated game plan of like, all right, this is what it does if it's bullish. This is what it does if it does want to keep falling. And then just seeing it work out to either way is so nice. Because it's not about being right or anything like that or making money. It's just cool to see your game plan work and then you kind of progress from it. Learning, okay, this is... Because you're probably so used to seeing things not work and learning from the things that don't work that you sometimes forget, like, wait, I need to review the things that do work. It's easy to forget sometimes. Watching the hourly for this crazy wick off of the 50... Dude, you've really been getting into this stuff, man. Crazy wick, or if the 50% golden pocket fib from the heights of this slowdown holds on... Dude, the way you were typing is so on it, dude. Thank you so much, German. Herman Miller. I could really tell you really are into this. You're not just all talk. When I saw you type 50% / golden pocket fib from high to this slowdown, I then knew I was dealing with a different individual. Could be getting a 5-minute doji at the half of the fib. Yep. Good looks prop. Bro, good job. Good job leading by example, man. German's like, I'm not just here to look cool. He's here to make a change. Good job, man. Seriously, I'm proud of you. Wait, how did Kevo's name already go back to normal? Didn't somebody literally just gift him a membership? How did he already not have it? I swear YouTube is taking those memberships quick when they're gifted. It's so weird. Ace typing rigged. Member for 9 months, legend. That gold star does look good on you, Ace. What can I say? Ace is like, see guys, you can get away with not paying for a membership for 9 months on YouTube. All you gotta do is just be here every day. Ace, how have you been recently? I haven't been on Twitter, as you know, so, or you might not know, but I haven't been on there, and I don't plan to be. But how have you been, man? I'm not gonna lie, guys. It has been really peaceful not being on Instagram and Twitter anymore. Just focusing on my YouTube and being here on the Discord has been nice. It's nice to just kind of limit yourself to just a certain number of resources and not have so many different opinions being thrown through your left and right ear. It is so nice. Not dealing with fake people being like, hey man, do you want to do collabs? Like stuff like that every 5 minutes. It's nice. It's nice and peaceful. Aloha SF, how are you doing? Aloha. Good looks. Carter, looks like you and German are watching the exact same thing. I love it. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. At this point, I'm almost just watching y'all more than I'm watching my own chart. It's already 10:30. Since when? I'm glad we at least got a couple good moves this morning. Therefore, if the rest of the day is kind of BS, at least you guys got a little bit of excitement this morning because we got some moves in pre-market. Got a nice buyer move to take us back to a more attractive spot where bears could get a lot better positioning on future trades. And right now we're kind of just getting one move away, potentially looking at a second leg away from that move. So see what comes after that, but either way, got at least some movement this morning. Maybe yesterday they were just waiting for me to come back. Who knows? Just kidding, of course. The market does not actually care. Market doesn't know of our existence. Oh, it's good to stretch. And make sure you guys stand up if you guys have been sitting down for really long this morning, or get you a drink of water or something. Stay hydrated. Don't just sit there though. It's definitely good to get your legs moving. Get the blood flowing. YouTube, how's the music, by the way? Is it too loud or too quiet? Is it too annoying? I haven't seen anybody comment on it, so I'm sure it's fine. Jacko says, I should sit down. Yeah, if you've been standing the whole time, maybe try sitting for a little. Bruh, you don't even hear the music? Do I not have it clicked right? Alright, how about now? Please tell me y'all are memeing me. Elisa said it too, so I don't think y'all are joking with me. She's pretty serious. When Ace types it, it's as good as me not seeing it typed at all. Wait, is there music now? Do y'all hear anything now? The only reason I thought it was there is because I saw Tobias complain about it earlier. Damn. My bad. I don't think I had it turned up enough. I'm back, but the internet cafe connection is a wee bit sketchy. Well, we're glad to have you either way, Sandollar. I'll take you on any level of Wi-Fi connection. On any level. Buyers appearing again. And it looks like they have made an annoying higher low above that low here. So they have like the low that was touching this, and then now they have like a higher low holding that. So I say annoying because they're just tightening our range. When I say annoying, I actually mean the definition of annoying when I talk about price action. Annoying would be a squeeze, and that's what we're getting now. It's annoying because a squeeze is 50-50. There is no higher probability situation. We are rejecting previous day lows, but we're holding this. And that's kind of one of those situations you don't want to be in. Unless you're in runners and you're just okay with understanding that if it does this, like if it breaks up to 527 and you get out, whatever, on your runner. But if it ends up breaking back down under 525.80s, it's another good invalidation for someone who might be bullish. Susan said, I've been hearing music, seems fine. Ah, so Elisa is in on it with Ace. No, I'm kidding. It's probably just different devices here, picking up different levels of volume. I do have the music really low, but I try to keep it low because sometimes I get complaints about it being too loud in the streams. Your volume was muted? Well, I guess I can't complain about that. My volume is muted while he's sitting here talking to me. I turned it up a little bit, so if it's too loud, please let me know. But it should be okay. Yo, so I wasn't here to ask y'all yesterday, but how was everyone's weekend? Did anybody do anything cool, or just y'all just chilled? Anybody work this weekend? What'd y'all do this weekend? It was a pretty long one. I personally did absolutely nothing. And then at the end of the weekend went out somewhere. But we're here now. A lot of relaxing. That's good. Are you still in Tejas or? The Texas weather has been so bipolar lately. I forgot what clip I saw on the internet yesterday, but somebody famous visited our state for a couple days. I can't remember who I'm thinking of. But I remember they were like, it was someone from Europe. Like they haven't been here, and they'd come to Texas and they're expecting like hot weather, right? And then they get all the hail and another rain of week and this and that, and it's just like, yes, this is Texas. The storm last night was crazy. It was very crazy. I only got a little hail. It wasn't too bad here, but just crazy the storms we're getting here recently. It's like once a week now. I try to tell people that live here though, like they don't understand. The bipolar weather is crazy. We go from hurricane season to tornado to it's so hot you would think we're in the desert to it's so humid you would think we're in the forest. It's so wild here. Maxon said went boating and to the beach. Damn, that sounds like a lot of... That's honestly the perfect thing to do on Memorial Day weekend. Boating and beaching. That is the best. It's such a Memorial Day and 4th of July kind of thing. It's so good. Perfect time of the year. That's awesome. That sounds fun. It was great. All my kids, their wives, and grandbabies were also able to Monday. Oh, nice. Okay, so had a huge get together. That's nice. It's cool. Everybody actually had like lined up schedules and were able to all meet up. That's good. I'm sure that's harder to do nowadays with everybody having kids and just life, life as a whole. Just super complicated. That's awesome though. Happy for you. Second rejection of the 0.5 on the 1 minute. Let's get it moving already, please. Carter says. I think boating is my new thing this summer. Too much fun. What kind of boat do you have, Maxon? Do you have one of those ones that's like low and it's just got a lot of deck, like a shoal? Had a few mishaps, but hey. It's boating, man. There's always going to be some mishaps. Whether it's your fault or someone else's or just random acts of chaos, who knows? Boating is definitely fun, though. It can be a pain in the ass at the same time. If Leland was here, he'd be a great boating buddy for you to talk to. That's awesome, though. I'm happy to hear that. A pontoon? Oh, there's never anything wrong with that. No, pontoons go kind of hard. A party barge? Yeah. Literally, though. Especially when it's summer and like all the college kids are everywhere. Those party barges are everywhere. He said a nice party boat, but super low. No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Oh, super slow. It's not about speed. It's about how many people can I fit on my deck and how many coolers of beer can we fit on here. Now, that's awesome, though. That's awesome. A true party boat. Boats are great. Trick is to let your father-in-law buy it, then you just get your license and take it. Not all of us have a father-in-law with a boat. That's funny, though. Good trick, Jack. We need to use that. Yeah, the big decks, that's exactly, yeah. If you're going out, like, to a beach, you want deck. You don't want... It's like, who cares if your boat goes fast? We're not all flying around in a boat the whole time. Though it is cool to have a fast boat. I don't think people realize though boats are different. Like when you're on an open, like you're open air on just a boat and you're just going 35 miles, 40 miles an hour is kind of fast too. Like I know it doesn't sound like it because you're so used to being in a car, but when you are physically standing on the boat feeling the wind, yes, that is fast. 15-minute inside bar doji. Space to fish. Good calls, Carter. You're all over the candlesticks today. I like it. You and German are doing really good with that control point call out as well. And remember what we talked about? Yes, this is a good bearish retest, but there is that little bit of squeeze due to this lower or higher low stepping in, and we're above today's open. So we are in a squeeze, but I'm definitely a little bit more bearish than bullish just because of just pure trend. Trend alone is telling us that. So you guys are on the right side so far. In terms of trades, definitely keep it tight. We're also approaching the lunch hour of the day, which I know it might not be lunchtime for us here in the Central Standard Time, but it is already approaching almost noon in the stock market exchange time zone, so be very careful. Them New York traders are diffy. But as a fun guess, would you guys say that you think we work ourselves above 527.50 or below 525 today, or neither? Would you guys say that we probably end up in between these and we'll probably be using these same levels as breakouts for tomorrow? Which again, end of day today, there could be really good moves that end up breaking this whole range. So just keeping that in mind too. But guys, with it almost approaching 11, I am gonna end the stream here. Really big breakdowns. I was insanely talkative today. I just wouldn't shut up, would I? But really awesome breakdowns of different questions and just kind of different charts being posted by everybody, and just really just a good conversation today about self-review. A lot of really good combos in between that too, about other things, but really all of it leading back to self-review and just kind of progression. What can we do to work towards progression? Not really trying to look at this in terms of a thing of like, how can I get rich in one trade? No, we definitely don't want to think about it like that. But thank you guys again, everybody here, for listening and engaging and adding in your own points. This is an open forum kind of thing. I don't just sit here and what Bueller says goes. There are plenty of things that I read out from you guys that are insanely helpful to other people in here who might not be hearing something a certain way or wording it correctly, or maybe I'm not wording it correctly, and you pointing it out is the way. So it's just nice having everybody here working together. Thank you, Kevo. Thank you, Sand Dollar. Why'd I call you Dollar? Thank you, Carter. Thank you, everybody in chat who's been typing and updating Misi. I can't even name you all. It's just not fair to say just a couple names. But thank you guys, everybody, for being here and updating and really doing what needs to be done. Just leading the right way. We don't need to be sitting here bullying each other to do something or to sit here and beg for plays every day. We don't need to be sitting here being greedy and looking for 50 opportunities a day. Let's limit ourselves to the things that we practice all the time. So, again, let's try to stay on each other's asses. But thank you guys again for being here, and I appreciate all the likes, all the love. Thank you guys, love you all, and I will see you in tomorrow's stream. We are going to be streaming tomorrow, so you better be up in the morning. But I'll see you guys.